We spend way too much of our lives on those soul-crushing repetitive tasks. Am I right? Well, today we're going to talk about how to reclaim that time. We're building a secret weapon against busy work. And honestly, it all kicks off with a feeling I think we all know a little too well.
Yeah? Does that sound familiar? I mean, this is a quote from someone who is living that exact reality. You know the drill. The endless cycle of manual data cleanup, the same meetings, the same wasted time. Ugh, it's a pain point so many of us can relate to, for sure. And that quote, it just gets right to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? Mindless admin work. It's all that stuff that makes you feel less like a smart, creative person and more like, well, a human robot. Downloading attachments, copying and pasting data, sending these same reminder emails over and over and over again. But what if you had a tireless digital assistant? Seriously, imagine having someone or something that never gets bored, never makes a copy-paste error, and just works 24/7 to handle all that busy work for you. That way, you could actually focus on the stuff that really matters.
Well, good news. That digital assistant is totally real. It's called Microsoft Power Automate, and it's the tool that can literally transform you from just a task doer into a full-blown automation architect. So let's dive in and see what this thing is all about.
Okay, so what is it really? In the simplest terms, Power Automate is a service that lets you connect all your different apps and services together and tell them what to do. You can think of it like a digital glue. It makes all your separate tools, your email, your spreadsheets, your cloud storage, all work together in perfect harmony. And it does it automatically. And the cool thing is, the concept behind it is actually super simple. Every automation, they call them flows, is built from just three basic parts. First, you've got a trigger. That's the thing that kicks the whole process off. Then that trigger leads to an action. That's the job you actually want to get done. And all of this magic happens through connectors, which are basically the bridges that let your apps talk to each other. So trigger, action, connector. That's it. That's the core of the whole thing. All right, theory is great and all, but let's put this into practice. Let's actually map out a workflow that could save you time right now. And get this, you could probably build this yourself in less time than it takes to brew a cup of coffee. Seriously. Okay, check this out. Here's a classic one. The trigger. A new email arrives in your Outlook. Simple enough. Then the flow checks a super simple condition. Does this email have an attachment? If the answer is yes, boom, the action. It automatically saves that file to a specific SharePoint folder you've already picked out. Just like that. Done. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. With that one single simple flow, you have completely eliminated a task you've probably done, thousands of times in your career? No more manually downloading and filing attachments. Ever. The time you get back starts adding up right away. Okay, so saving attachments, that's a fantastic start. But honestly, it's just scratching the surface. This is where things go from being just simple to being completely supercharged. So what happens when people really get creative and unleash the power of this thing?
Now, these aren't just pie-in-the-sky ideas. These are real-world examples from people using Power Automate right now. We're talking about parsing complicated CSV files from suppliers automatically, texting support agents who are on a rotating schedule, splitting up PDF payslips and emailing them out, or even automating the entire new employee onboarding process. Heck, some people are even creating their own MP3 podcasts from their favorite newsletters. The possibilities are just huge.
And the impact? It's massive. Get this, one user reported saving over 10 hours a week, every single week, just from automating one single data entry task. I mean, stop and think about that. What would you do with an extra 10 hours a week? So you're probably wondering, how do you get from a simple flow to these really supercharged automations? Well, the key is learning the secret sauce. And that secret sauce is something called expressions. Now, don't let the name scare you off. They're really just simple, kind of Excel-like formulas that let you play with and change data right inside your flow. And here's a perfect example of how powerful they are. Look, without expressions, you can save a file. That's cool, it's useful. But with expressions, you can save that same file, but also automatically rename it with today's date, maybe calculate a due date that's 30 days from now, and even route it to different folders based on keywords inside the document. See? Expressions are what make your automations truly intelligent. But at the end of the day, this is about so much more than just technology. When you start automating your work, it doesn't just change your to-do list. It actually changes how you think, how you approach problems, and
even how your coworkers see you.
I mean, just look at this transformation. The before picture, it's managers complaining about bad data and everyone else being stuck with that mindless admin work. The after picture, data quality skyrockets, errors practically disappear, and people finally get back to, in their own words, doing actual important stuff. The change is real. You can feel it.
And this is my favorite part. It's this quote right here. When you start solving these problems that everyone else just kind of accepted as the way things are, you're not just an employee anymore. You're a problem solver. You're an innovator. You become the person who makes the magic happen, like a magical sorcerer for your team. So I'm going to leave you with this question. As you go about the rest of your day today, just pay attention. Look for the patterns. Look for the copy pasting, the manual reminders, all those repetitive clicks. Find that one little piece of busy work that drives you absolutely crazy. And then ask yourself, what repetitive task are you going to automate first?